Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with today's Thankful for You. And it is a series I'm doing this month, just documenting the things and people that I am thankful for. And today I'm talking about my church. And so I've got a picture of our children's minister with my daughter and her boyfriend and their new baby. And I'm going to use as much of this Reaching Out by Jen Hadfield as I can. This is all I have left. I have one full 12 by 12 sheet and a bunch of scraps, a handful of stickers, and then I've pulled a few things out that I wasn't sure what I was going to use, so I just brought in anything I thought could come in handy. I really only use a few of those things, but it's perfectly fine. So I've got my papers, some random embellishments, my pictures, and an idea. So let's see how this goes. So I am obviously going to start with the only 12 by 12 paper I have. I did cut it to 11.5 by 11.5. I am going to mat it. And I actually remember to do that before I end my video, which I oftentimes forget to do. I'm going to use a couple of the scraps up right here and put a strip or a couple strips up here at the top. I do use quite a few of my scraps to mat my pictures to make these little lines up here. And then I had already a heart cut out on my Cricut for when I think I pre-built a layout and didn't end up needing all the different hearts I created. So I just tucked it in with this collection because it was made out of this paper, this collection's paper. And I'm just now using it up. So I'm going to get that in on here. And then I'm wanting to bring in that little blue plaid because I have a heart that's already pre-cut in that plaid. And I thought that I would add that other blue plaid paper somewhere, but I don't. It's just going to end up going back in the little packet. And now all I have left is, I think I have like a 6 by 12. Other than that, everything else is itty bitty or, smaller. Maybe a couple things are big enough to mat a picture. So we'll see if I can use up some scraps and get some of that stuff used up. And then I might actually throw away the rest. I know. If you've watched me very long, you know that's not my style. This is the heart I'm talking about. I originally cut it with the back side of that striped paper in mind, and it's a really pretty floral, but I thought that the floral was going to kind of disappear with the wordy bits behind this where it says kindness all over, and the stripes were a little bit more solid. The florals had a lot of white in them, like in between the flowers and stuff. So I chose to mat my picture on this rainbow stripe, which is the same striped paper that's behind the hearts. And then I double mat my smaller picture, which is a picture of the carnation that was on the pulpit a couple weeks after my grandson was born. And then typically what happens is our children's minister will stop by your house and meet the new baby and bring some goodies and stuff and deliver the carnation. And so that is pretty much what happened. They brought a bag of goodies for Katie, and most of it was stuff like for the baby, but a couple of things for her as well. And she just comes and visits, asks, how they're doing, and chit-chats with them for a little while. And so it was a lovely visit. I adore our children's minister. She's been there for a very long time. She was at this exact same house almost 23 years ago when my daughter was born, and came and brought me a pink carnation for her, and then 7 years later a blue carnation for her brother to our other house. So I'm very grateful for her. She's been a very important part of our church family, and I am very grateful for the church that I have. I've been there my whole life. My mother's been there her whole life. I believe my grandfather was there pretty much his whole life. But it's a very forward-thinking and inclusive church, and I absolutely adore that. I have some of the greatest friends that I have made there, and some of the most important things have happened in my life, being part of the Christmas project, and which is something we do every year, and the Sunday school class that I'm in, and just lots of friendships and bonds have been made from that. And I just am very grateful that my mom raised us in the church and that it mostly stuck with me. Not that I've been a every Sunday girl, but I try. So, but I am very grateful. And I never, when I was pregnant with my daughter, and of course not married, I was always very nervous about not being accepted, and I never felt that way. And so I'm just grateful that they are understanding and loving, and that it's just a really good place to be. So anyway, I am just filling in lots of little things around on the layout, wanting to tuck things in here and there. I have these little wordy bits from Paper Studio that are like faith-based. So they say like faith, peace, love, joy. And then there's some little crosses, ichthus fish, things like that. And I just kind of decided to put a few of them on these hearts because they're, just because it's kind of boring. Honestly. And so I put a few of those on there just to add a little something. And then I put this little square down here that I distressed around that says thank you. I actually put some ink around that as well so it would stand out a little bit on the edges where it's laying over that kindness paper. And just put it down here at the bottom corner. And then I put some little florals and little wordy bits on here that I found that out of stuff that I'm definitely trying to use up. Things that say like the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams by Eleanor Roosevelt. And then there's one on here that says to plant a seed is a hopeful deed. And then there's other little things on here that say join your company, the best, shine on, thanks a bunch, congratulations. And then I put this little, it came from Paper Studios, that says, perhaps this is the moment for which you have been created. And it's a verse from Esther 4:14. And then, of course, at the top, I've got a little strip that says thinking of you across it. And then I put a little journaling thing on the tag that I also had pre-made in the past, that label. So I thought I'd try and use one of those and just put the date on here, and that our children's minister had come by to visit and meet Apollo and bring Katie and Thomas their carnation. So that is it. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. I am, like I said, very grateful and thankful to be a part of this church and this community that is so loving and reaches out to the people in its congregation and just keeps a hold of us. So I hope that you all have a great day. I would love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like this video and or my layout. And I hope you'll come back and see me again. I should be here most every day this month. And I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.